that is now 70 days of weigh-ins. We got 288.7 this 10-day average, down from 290.06. So just over a pound this 10 days. Definitely the slowest 10-day average drop thus far, which is to be expected the deeper you get. And we had the cheat day this week. You saw that unusually high weigh-in come out of nowhere. That was obviously the morning after the cheat day. Also seemed to have caught a little bit of a cold within this last 10 days. That probably has a little bit of effect on it. But anyway, we're still on a downward trend. We saw a new all-time low of 286, so that's a 28-pound total variance now. We're coming up on that 30-pound mark. After, there was one abnormally high weigh-in, then another weigh-in in the 290s. So we had two weigh-ins in the 290s, which was, the morning after cheat day and the morning after that. Everything else was in the 280s. So I expect to keep that momentum rolling. For those who are new, 280 is the baseline goal that we're shooting for. And once I hit that, we'll make adjustments and go from there. And just a quick rundown. The first 10-day average, our first weigh-in was 314.2, I think, 314.4, 314.6. It was 314 point something, was our first weigh-in. And by 10-day averages, our first 10-day average was 307.98. Our second 10-day average was 302.54. Our third 10-day average was 299.42. Our fourth 10-day average was 296.6. Fifth 10-day average was 292.96. Sixth 10-day average was 290.06. And then this 10-day average was 288.7. So trending downward, 70 days in. Maybe looking at making some slight adjustments. Probably not an overall calorie consumption. But the deeper I get into the cut, the more I would like to have some more carbs around training time. And basically the whole strategy for this cut has been to save as many calories as possible for the last meal, which on my non-training days, I've only been eating one meal a day. And that'll probably stay pretty similar on my non-training days. However, on my training days, we may be looking to shift some more carbs around training time and some more protein for that matter. And then still have a big meal at night, but maybe replace some of the starchier type carbs that I have at night with some, vegetables just to get in some volume. Because that's something even going into this cut. Like I used to always train in the evening, so it was no big deal to have carbs late and around training at the same time, which is how I would prefer it. But now this year I've had to make adjustments to my schedule, so I train midday. And for me to adhere to a diet, I really have to go to sleep feeling satisfied and full. So I try to save calories for the end of the day. However, I'm also a fan of having carbs and protein, right around training. Previously, I'd like to have like 90% of my carbs either pre, intra, or post training in some capacity. So that's been a little different for this cut, and I think, I'm getting more accustomed to restricting food and feeling more confident with playing with the timing of it and not really disrupting my adherence at all. So we may start doing that, bringing some extra fruits or something with me to work. To consume both pre and post training, and like I said, still having a big meal at night, but just maybe a big protein source, and then a lot of veggies or something like that, something I can get in more volume with less calories and less carbs, etc. So that's the direction we're going in right now, and any changes we make, there will be small changes. I'm not just going to drastically change everything at once. It'll be something, that'll gradually, take carbs and some protein away from that big meal at night and add a little by little, both pre and post workout until I find something I'm comfortable with. and go from there. Peace.